Time for a trailer by trailer analysis of Alien Covenant. Hello everybody, welcome to another edition of Strange Planet. I am looking forward to seeing Alien Covenant. Comes out next week actually. And the review of the movie is gonna happen right here as soon as I finish seeing it. I'm planning on seeing it early on. And it's starting to get quite exciting from this end. Why? Because today I just finished seeing two other glimpses of the movie. Now, I don't know if these pieces I've been coming across on YouTube are actually going to be in the movie, or are these kind of like prologues, because that's what they're called. They're called prologues. There's like 2 or 3 of them out there. And it gives some insight for me regarding the link between Prometheus, which came out a few years ago, and Ridley Scott's Alien from 1979. It's as if this film definitely links the two together. The biggest complaint I've heard regarding Prometheus when it came out was, you didn't really see the alien that we know and love, right? We didn't see the chest bursting out, the eggs, the queen, we didn't see any of that in Prometheus, and there's a good reason for it. I kind of accepted it for what it was. It was its own story. It was a story of human beings' search for their origins. Elizabeth Shaw was the name of the character, and she was part of this big expedition to go out and find the planet where it all began. And they found a planet, and they ended up coming across the species, and it turned out, spoiler alert for those who haven't seen it yet, though you should have seen it by now, that this species, which we call the engineers, actually had given up on humanity and wanted it to destroy humanity and destroy the earth. Like, they were the ones that initially put the right chemistry in the early oceans of the earth to begin life on earth, and to begin the eventual evolution to what became us, for those of us who believe in evolution and all that kind of stuff. And what's amazing is that they decided at the end of it all that this was a failed experiment, that this wasn't going to work out. So, and at the end of the movie, Elizabeth Shaw and the rest of the team kind of get a glimpse of that. Of course, we see a monster that comes out, and everybody remembers her, Elizabeth Shaw's cesarean section, and she gave birth to this creature that was growing inside her. And, we eventually saw what happened at the end of the movie to that creature, how it just really got big, and it pretty much impregnated the last engineer that was there. And we saw at the very end of the movie what happened, what came out of him. And people were saying, oh, that's like a early ancestor of our beloved xenomorphs and stuff, which is possible, I don't know. However, again, these previews that they've been showing a lot of previews of this movie. And it worries me a little bit, because I'm thinking, wow, I hope, I feel like they're showing too much. It's not one thing about film previews that you don't show too much. You shouldn't be showing too much. But they show too much in this. So my concern is, what now? What's going to happen? Well, the preview I'm specifically talking about is we actually see, and right now I fail to remember the name of the actress who plays Elizabeth Shaw, but she's in the movie, though I was told she plays a small part, because the focus isn't really on her, even though she's still a big part of it. They do find, if you remember the end of Prometheus, her and what's left of poor David, the android guy, got his head ripped off, and the only thing that was left was his head. They left to find the homeworld of the engineers, to find out why they want to eliminate the human race. So in this prologue, they call it a prologue on YouTube, you see her putting David back together again. I don't know where she got the tools for it, but it worked. And when he's all up and walking again, he puts her to sleep. You know, she goes into a cryogenic sleep chamber inside the engineer's ship that they took. And the ship goes to this planet. Now, is this planet LV-426, the planet that we're very familiar with from the Alien franchise? Maybe. I don't know. We'll find out. And they land there, and then that's kind of it. You don't really see much else after that. There have been a lot of rumors going around that, you know, because based on the preview, we do see the alien we know and love, but it's still a kind of like a prototype of it. Even though from the looks of it, it looks pretty well formed. Like, this is the alien we know, you know? So we'll see. But what connection is that with the crew of the Covenant that comes to the planet, who finds this planet, and their goal is to colonize it? This is where this happens in the year 2093 or in the 2090s somewhere. And it happens 10 years after the events of Prometheus. And these people come from Earth to find this new world, to find that it's habitable enough to live, to start a new life, you know, grow things and everything. Of course, this dream utopic place that they want to start with turns out to be a brutal nightmare, because they are exposed to the pathogens or whatever it is that the engineers have made. They come across the derelict ship of the engineers, and they find out what's going on. They find Elizabeth Shaw's army tag hanging. Something happened to Elizabeth Shaw. Something must have happened to David. But the question is, what? Right? So I'm going to throw a theory out there. It is my belief that Elizabeth Shaw is dead, and it is from her that the first alien comes out. And it's a queen. You see, there's a scene in the Alien Covenant film where they come across the eggs we know of. That, oh snap, those are the eggs, get away from those. And then you see one open up, and out comes the facehugger. I'm like, okay, let me pose the same question Ellen Ripley asked in Aliens. Who's laying these eggs? Huh? What if who's laying these eggs is what used to be Elizabeth Shaw? What if what's laying these eggs is the Queen Alien? Huh? Huh? I'm talking about the one that actually fights Ellen Ripley at the end of Aliens. Because it must have been there the whole time, right? Who knows? It's something to think about. Granted, I wasn't too impressed by some of the effects I saw in the previews for Alien Covenant. Like the part when the xenomorph is like banging his head on this guy's ship through the glass and all that. That looked too CGI. Too CGI. And one thing you do not want to do as a filmmaker is make something look too unrealistic. Don't want to do that. It's a movie, not a video game. If I wanted a video game, I put it on a video game. You know what I mean? I wouldn't do that. So, how are we going to handle this? Well, I guess the best thing to do is to go in with an open mind and just kind of like take in the storyline and find out what Ridley Scott has done now to link both Prometheus and Alien from 1979 and link them together. Obviously, there is a link. Something connects this, okay? The images I've seen, I mean, besides the one I mentioned right now, please, not too much CGI. Please. From what I'm seeing, the amazing landscape features, the cinematography looks amazing, and it looks creepy. It almost has the same kind of feel from the original film. You know, I dare even say I felt a little twinge of Aliens as well. James Cameron's film, the dark corridors, the creatures flying through. Guys and gals, I am looking forward to this film. All right, are you looking forward to this film? Why don't you comment below and tell me, and tell me what your theory might be about the fate of Elizabeth Shaw and the android David from Prometheus. Let me know what you think about that. Okay? Alien Covenant comes out May 19th. This is it, guys. We're here to see it. Strange Planet's gonna check it out. We're gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it out. We're gonna give you an honest to depth review of the movie right here on Strange Planet so that we can find out about the fate of Elizabeth Shaw and the android David from Prometheus and how this all plays into Alien Covenant.